Okay, סימן תקפ"ב, תקפ"ב. Good morning. סימן תקפ"ב, 582.
Okay, Tov, Rabbi Prague.
What are the news from Israel today, last night?
They're attacking South Lebanon in force with airplanes.
Mm-hmm. The people, there's no school in Haifa. People on
No, and they said that they sent messages for them to leave their homes in certain areas, meaning the Lebanese to leave their home in certain areas.
סימן תקפ"ב.
Paul Sutton and his brother just landed.
Yeah.
They're back here, back in Israel.
Steve is in Israel, you know, Rabbi Prague, right?
Larry's son is in Israel. He says everyone is asking him. He says Yerushalayim, you don't feel anything.
That's what Paul said. He said, you don't even know there's a war. That's what he said.
No, but this is
Because
also.
when it's quiet, there's not a lot of people. That's what he just told us.
Look at סימן תקפ"ב. בעשרה ימים שבין בעשרת ימי תשובה אומר המלך הקדוש, המלך המשפט. So the Gemara says, look at the Mishnah Berurah. The Mishnah Berurah quotes the Gemara. המלך הקדוש, משום שעכשיו הם ימי דין, שהקדוש ברוך הוא יושב ודן כל העולם, הוא מראה מלכותו וממשלתו שהוא בכל משל. So for the 10 days, beginning on Rosh Hashanah, we conclude the third ברכה המלך הקדוש, and עשרת ימי תשובה, say המלך המשפט, to emphasize that on those days, Hashem is judging the world. So remember, it's not Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is the first day of the 10 days. Is Amelech HaKadosh like Ya'aleh v'Yavo? Amelech HaKadosh is like the text of the Tefillah we'll talk in a minute. Ve'im ta'a, או שהוא מסופק.
And you're reading where, Rabbi Prague? I'm just sorry.
תקפ"ב, 582. 582. ואם טעה או שהוא מסופק, and then made a mistake and he said הקהל הקדוש, הוא is not sure. אם הוא בהמלך הקדוש, if his doubt is on the third ברכה, חוזר לראש, he has to start עמידה from the beginning. Why isn't he going straight back to התא הקדוש? Because all the first 3 ברכות are counted as one. So if you are not sure or you made a mistake, you start from the beginning. The first 3 are one. ואם הוא בהמלך המשפט, let's say you're holding now in רצה, and you're not sure if you said המלך המשפט or not. אם נזכר קודם שעקר רגליו, if you remember before you step back, חוזר לברכת השיבה, ואומר משם ואילך על הסדר. So again, amen, said המלך הקדוש. He's not sure if he said המלך המשפט. He's holding על הצדיקים בירושלים. He has to go back, according to Maran, to השיבה שופטינו.
on Shabbat or
כן? ואם לא נזכר עד שעקר רגליו, ימי דורו יוסף שלום and he's not really sure what he said, חוזר לראש. Now, here It's an interesting machloket between Sfaradim and Ashkenazim, because the Shulchan Aruch openly says you have to go back. But the Rama says to us, look in Siman 117. In 117, the Rama says, since you said Melech Ohev Tzedakah Mishpat, even though you should have said that Melech Mishpat is good. So this is one of the places that the Sfaradim would follow the Ashkenazim because of Safek Berachot. According to Sfaradim, you have to go back. So this is a classic example of Safek Berachot. Sfaradim, you have to go back. Ashkenazim not. So even though Shulchan Aruch openly says you have to go back, the Sfaradim would not go back by Melech Ohev Tzedakah Mishpat B'diavad. Joseph, so what was your question, Joseph?
On Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh, if we don't say the right things, I understand that we go back or something like that. But on these 10 days, Hashem doesn't need a kavod from you.
Right.
So why do you have to go back?
Joseph is asking, what's the point of going back out? If you're showing Hashem so they have to go back, you do it only for yourself.
For
yourself. You haven't done it right.
If you visit Tel HaShomer and you see soldiers without legs, and you say, maybe I'm just elaborating to make a joke here, serious joke. Hamelech HaMishpat, Hamelech HaKadosh, Hamelech, the Melech did it, right? If you take it seriously, and because of that, we say one less Lashon Hara, because of that you do one more chesed. Otherwise, the question is a genuine good question. Every time we make it, the point of going back. It's otherwise, I mean, I'm using an example. This is the following number, Joseph. I'm just 0119722. Okay, I said the number that you call Israel, right? If I make a mistake in one number only, would I be able to connect? No. The tefillah is basically a tiny number. Without the right number, you say it, you have a chance. I'm using an example only. 10 years ago, President Clinton came here to Bedford Avenue, remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
Joe
yeah,
Kerry's
yeah,
house.
yes.
Big
Right.
photo op.
If Joseph Bilderici wanted a picture of the president, in 30 seconds, because the photographer says only
And
$1,000
$5,000.
only 1,000 to 5,000. He doesn't know who you are, he couldn't care less who you are, he forgot the minute you walked out. I have a picture on your face. I have a picture. Who are you kidding? I have a picture of the president. And Rosh Hashanah, everything that happened to Israel. Do you realize what happened in Israel right now?
Decided that.
Right now, yeah. In Haifa, the kids are not going to school because last year in Rosh Hashanah, yes. All the kids are staying home. In Tzfat, I heard yesterday the mayor of Tzfat. The answer is, if our tefillot are going the right way, it's easy. This is one of the. Now, let's just read Seif Bet. But remember, your question is not a question here, right here. Every time we make a mistake, you have to go back. I forgot the Alevi Avos. So what? He says, but I prayed. Look at Seif Bet. אם אמר הקרע הקדוש, בתוך כדי ליבו נזכר ואמר המלך הקדוש. Remember, this rule is a rule that applies all over our life. Within 3 seconds of the completion of anything you said, you have the right to fix it or to take it back. Right? ואם אמר הקרע הקדוש, בתוך כדי ליבו נזכר ואמר המלך הקדוש, אינו צריך לחזור. Why? Because again, the completion of your beracha or many other activities that you do. I made a business deal with Jack. Right? A verbal disagreement, within 3 seconds of the completion, I can still go back. Why? I didn't finish it. But listen carefully. The Gemara says, if I'm using the case that's so far it goes. A person heard that one of his 7 relatives died, and he ripped his garment. Then he found out he was dead, but he did die 2 seconds later.
Oh,
He doesn't have to leap again. Fascinating, see? When it comes to a verbal saying like Hamelech HaKadosh, you can hear, okay,
action
action,
is
action,
immediately permanent.
yes. The Gemara says that a man married a woman, okay, the halacha is not so, but within 2 or 3 seconds after you hand over the coin, yeah, changing my mind.
Oh, boy.
The Gemara says, Hilchata, toch kedei dibur kedibur, they accept divorce and marriage, and accept if you mekalel Hashem. There's no what, which means the seriousness of those 4
Actions.
activities are so that when you say it, it's done. But here by Hamelech HaMishpat, you can go back. So this is on weekdays. Look at Halacha Gimel a second.
On the marriage, Rabbi, it doesn't matter because the man wouldn't survive it anyway. I changed my mind, forget it.
I know a very mature man that raised his kids mature. And the man has money, he made a beautiful wedding to his daughters in the heydays. Each one of his kids, the night before the wedding, he says, listen, invested a lot. You still can say no. So brilliant, yes. It's very often.
You get lost in the shuffle.
You get lost, you're nervous. You can say no. Don't worry about the embarrassment to us. Don't worry about the money. It's you, only you. It shows a kid how much confidence the parent has in his son. Look and see if Gimel. B'Shabbat b'intayim. Friday night, which this year will follow the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. Remember, Arbit is the only time that we have Chazarat HaShatz on Friday night, right? So remember what we say? Akel HaKadosh she'en kamo. Friday night, you have to say Hamelech HaKadosh.
Yeah.
Chazan, this is Halacha with the Chazan. Well, let's go back a second. Okay, you have clearly this is the Halacha. Now, what happened on a regular Rosh Hashanah? Friday
I
night?
want to see the Sukkot probably doesn't have it.
Yes, of course it does.
Sure,
Of course it does.
that's in parentheses.
It's like parentheses right here. The Shabbat is Shabbat,
I never paid attention.
because you're not the Chazan.
I know.
But the Chazan,
No, but they even say it a little louder.
whoever is in charge sending the Chazan has to remind because it's something you do once a year only. Yes.
I also take a little longer than Amidah, so sometimes I don't get to hear it because I'm
Oh,
still finishing.
This the reason.
Still finishing.
Now listen carefully. Joseph mentioned before, on Rosh Chodesh Shachrit, Mincha, we forget Ya'aleh V'Yavo. What happened in Arbit? Why not?
It wasn't offered in the Mikdash.
What we mentioned yesterday, the Eidim,
They didn't come back.
not only didn't come back,
They're still waiting.
they cannot be accepted at night. The only time you can accept witnesses is during the day. So it was never, so to say, legally, very nice.
Even if they saw the signing, they would come back, but it's not acceptable till the.
Right. How about Rosh Hashanah here? Bezrat Hashem next Wednesday night. Not this coming next week. At night, I forgot and I said, Akel HaKadosh. Can we treat the first night of Rosh Hashanah as, because you realize Rosh Hashanah is really Rosh Chodesh. Because it's the beginning of the year, we call it Rosh
It
Hashanah.
wasn't declared.
The first day of Rosh Hashanah is exactly as Rosh Chodesh. This was not declared because we are waiting for witnesses tomorrow. But Emet, that we have statistics, Emet, that Beidim calculate yes or no, but the reality is without the Eidim. So look a second here. Look now in Sha'ar HaTziyun Dalet. Look on the bottom, all the way bottom. See, look at my finger. סעיף קטן ד' on the bottom, תק"ב, לא, תקפ"ב, שער הציון ד'. Look what he said. תשובת מים חיים, but look at this. והנה, בחיי אדם הביא בשם הגאון, אברלי פוסובר, he was the ראש בית דין in Vilna 250 years ago, שאם טעה בליל ראש השנה, ולא אמר המלך הקדוש שאין צריך לחזור. The first night, I mean, I said it because of that. כדין, like, טעה, ולא הזכיר יעלה ויבוא בליל ראש חודש. שאין צריך לחזור מחמת, שאין מקדשים החודש בלילה. It's very famous. It says, of course, the Baishachrit, Bamilcha, of course you have to go back. But on the first night, they never declared. The reason why we, let's say in the time of Bet HaMikdash, they never declared Rosh Hashanah. Why do people like candles at Kiddush? Because we know, most likely, statistically speaking, a bit more. But if you forgot, you want to say, says the Chafetz Chaim, ולעניות דעתי, in my humble opinion, לא להירה, this is not clear. Why? Listen to this. וזה היה שייך רק אם היה מתפלל תפילת חול. It says, על רגל לראש חודש, the tefillah is a weekday tefillah. You have to insert in Amidah, יעלה ויבוא, he's out. So it doesn't contradict the entire tefillah. The tefillah is perfect tefillah. One part that should have been there is not
This
there.
is different entirely.
It says, but here, it says here, מה שאין כן בזה, שמתפלל תפילת יום טוב, your entire Amidah is Rosh Hashanah. So you're telling me if I finish it the way I finish a weekday, then how can you, מה נפשך לא יוצא? זה קושייה חזקה, this is not a very serious question. ואולי, he's trying to defend this commentator by saying, אולי, והוא מהירי, שנזכר תכף, שסיים הקהל הקדוש. Which means, it's Rosh Hashanah night, says, Baruch Atah Hashem, הקהל הקדוש. And what he is telling us is continue as if it's a weeknight.
Yeah, that's what makes sense.
He said, but if this is what he meant to say, I can understand. Because then you're not really contradicting yourself. ולאחר כדי דיברו לדידי צריך לסיים בכל. ואף בזה, even by that, צריך עיון גדול. So this is what's fascinating about him. This great rabbi, 250 years ago, sent thousands of manuscripts to people. Nothing was left for him except this Bar Torah, and hundreds of books are dealing with this Chiddush, which means, okay, so the Mishnah Berurah is hesitating to understand it.
So if you're in that situation and you say Hakel HaKadosh and you didn't fix it, do you just go to Atahonin and finish the regular?
He says, right, he wants to,
or do you start over?
No, he wants to say that you have to continue Atahonin.
Yeah.
But if you take his Chiddush,
Yeah.
Right,
It's consistent.
It's Friday.
You have to learn a lot of halakha, you have to catch yourself at the right time. But listen to this. Listen to the Gemara. It's fast.
At night, it's also
Rosh Chodesh.
You do have a big deal. So he's saying,
He says that a weekday and a regular Rosh Hashanah, you have no. There are two ways to approach. I mean, to defend him. This guy is not a local chosen rabbi. Listen to this. The Gemara says, Larry, if you can check, tell to Rosh Hashanah, Masechet Rosh Hashanah, Daf Chet Amud Bet. Here, Tanu Rabbanan. Listen to the Gemara. Tanu Rabbanan. Ki Chok leYisraelu משפט לאלוהי יעקב. This day of Rosh Hashanah, חוק לישראל, חוק is Hashem is judging us on the food, מלמד, please listen good now, שאין בית דין של מעלה נכנסים לדין, אלא אם כן קידשו בית דין של מטה את החוק שיהיו למעשה. כי חוק לישראל, when the Jewish people declare this is Rosh Hashanah, which is during the day, Mishpat le'Elohei Yaakov, this is when the heavenly court assembles. So he's saying, he comes out at night, there's no judgment, correct? Now, let's go back and see, why do we say Amelech HaKadosh? Go back to the book in front of you, look at the Mishnah Berurah Bet. Mishnah Berurah Bet.
Put that in the Chok Israel before the Shemona Esrei?
No, this is, some people say, yeah, I mean, this is a pasuk, but the pasuk that he means, it's one of them is, this is what we say in Shir Shel Yom Yom Chamishi. Tiku b'chodesh Shofar b'chek, in Israel, by Ashkenazim, we say before Amidah. Listen to Mishnah.
Say it by Prague. Do you say it?
In my shul, yes, but in other places where they follow Minhag Agra,
You know, it's like for Shamru, in other words.
you never, right, it's exactly the same. Look at the Mishnah Berurah, המלך הקדוש, משום שעכשיו הם ימי דין. So again, why are we switching from הקהל הקדוש to המלך הקדוש? Because those days are days of judgment, שהקדוש ברוך הוא יושב ודן את כל העולם. But the night is not judging. This is why the rabbi said, if you blew it, you can go in. So the Mishnah Berurah says, but there is a contradiction. There's no contradiction. Which means, of course, it's a holiday. And the text of the Amidah is the text of the holiday. But Melech HaKadosh shows us only because of judgment. The judgment begins tomorrow. It's a beautiful pshat.
So the texts are not interchangeable, it's only if you forgot, otherwise
No,
you
no,
are required to say it.
obviously. No, but again, the question was, how can you continue praying the prayers of
Which is not
the
consistent with the
holiday?
day.
It's not. It says, but this part really does not affect the message of the prayer, because the Melech HaKadosh is only.
So everything we start from the evening. How come that Hashem doesn't do it like from the beginning of the day? Because you cannot judge at night.
We just read the Gemara. Listen again. כי חוק לישראל משפט לאלוהי יעקב. says the Gemara, ראש שנה, מלמד שאין בית דין של מעלה נכנסים לדין. The heavenly court is not assembling to judge, אלא אם כן unless קידשו בית דין של מטה את החולים. That's weird. הגדול בירושלים, sanctify the mind. Okay, this is some interesting to read the next page of the Gemara, Tanya. Tanya אידך, כי חוק לישראל הוא, אין לי אלא לישראל, אומות העולם מנהל. How do we know that Ukraine, China, is also judged? עמוד לומר, משפט לאלוהי יעקב. It's a day of judgment of the universe. כן, מה אתה אומר? Who is judged first? The Jews. כי דרב חיסדא, דאמר רב חיסדא, מלך וציבור, מלך נכנס תחילה. If it happens that the Sanhedrin are waiting to judge few people, the king is one of them. Take the king first, then the people. The Jewish people are first. Why? It's not, it's disrespect. And the second interpretation is very distinct. Which means, I have a friend who told me, he went to fight a ticket, he sold me the two guys before him really were obnoxious. And the judge really went free. He says his case is lost. The judge is in the bed. Says the Gemara, the reason why you take the Jews first, not the Umat HaOlam, this way,
Keep the
easier.
judge calm.
No, but you realize it sounds like a joke
I know. but it's-
because the rule is Malchuta de Rekia Kain Malchuta de Har. Every court, right, is set the same way we have it here. The Gemara says, so this Gaon in Vilna wants to say, I mean, Cheshek Shlomo says, and this is the reason. The reason is there's no judgment yet.
Rabbi, to judge the Jews, Hashem requires us to be on a higher level. So maybe Hashem will Kediachol be more angry if he does the Jews first.
And this is also that, but
Very comfortable.
on the other hand, here's his question. He's saying, on the contrary, maybe we should judge them first.
He doesn't expect much.
You understand, but it's like close relatives, so I have to, go easy.
You know, on Yom Kippur, listen to the answer to this question. On Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol goes to Kodesh HaKodashim. The Gemara says he prays a short tefillah. Part of the tefillah is Amcha Yisrael, Shelo Yu Tzrichim Lo Ze Laze Velo Le'amcha.
Wait, that he says afterwards.
But he does it mamash as he walks out. This is the
Right. Yeah, after he's
He's
finished.
doing the listen to the language.
Shelo yitztarchu azol
Okay, normally what it means is Jews should have enough to support themselves. They wouldn't need to collect tzedakah from others. And Israel doesn't have to beg from America and from Europe to give us money. Israel is the biggest beggar in the history of the world. But when the Middle East, America has to support it. So this is normally the prayer. But those who take it at a different level say like this. The Satan comes to Hashem and says, look at the Jews. They're not so nice to each other. They speak Lashon Hara, some cheat the business, this, that. Hashem says, Amen. If you compare them to the non-religious people, many of them are better. Comes the Satan right away. Okay, let's take the non-religious people. Hashem says, Amen, but compared to the Goyim, that's a big. Which means that very often we can win the case, not because
Just by
we use
comparison.
only by
We're better
comparison.
than them.
Says the Kohen Gadol, על עמך ישראל שלא יצטרכו זה לזה. They wouldn't be good by comparison to others.
Yeah,
ולא לעם אחר, not by
by comparison.
the body of faith. So this is really the answer to your question.
We have that in politics, when you find somebody that won the election, it was the best of the worst.
No, in this election, it's definitely going to be
Yeah,
that.
No, I'm not talking national.
You're not voting
Local
for.
elections.
No, so this is the answer to your question. The Jews come first, that's,
They set the stage.
no, in a much deeper level, but this is different. Everything that takes place in the world is because of us anyway.
Yeah.
So this first we have to be judged. After that, understand, if there would be an earthquake in Iran or not next week, it's to do with us. If Iran has to suffer a knockout, and there's no way we or the United States would move for us, maybe, give an example, yes? So this is the second explanation why this rabbi is saying that the first night you should not go back because there's no judgment.
Yeah.
The third explanation, Larry, is like this. Is the text HaMelech HaKadosh like Ya'aleh v'Yavo on Rosh Chodesh? I have to mention that today is Rosh Chodesh, I have to mention Rosh Hashanah. Or it's much more than that. When I change from HaMelech HaKadosh to HaKadosh, am I changing the matbeya of the tefillah? Am I changing the text? Then you definitely have to go back. Or no? Since we are saying it for 10 days, obviously, it's not part of the text of the prayer of Rosh Hashanah. So how come we're saying it and all the following 9 days of Rosh Hashanah? This is why this rabbi is saying that if you missed it the first night,
What do you mean by not part of the prayer of Rosh Hashanah?
certain things the fact that we are saying it even on the weekdays after Rosh Hashanah shows you that HaMelech HaKadosh is not connected directly to the fact that this is Rosh Hashanah. If we say HaMelech HaKadosh only on the day of judgment, so on Aseret Yemei Teshuvah you shouldn't say HaMelech HaKadosh because it's not the days of judgment. We're being judged either Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur. Right? How come during the week we are saying HaMelech HaKadosh? So obviously it's a reminder. It's like a hazkara, but not matbeya tefillah. So this is what some people are trying to say. That this is why the rabbi says that the first night, if you blow it, and it's not judgment, and you did not change the text. I mean, an example, Jordan. This morning by Amidah, instead of saying Baruch Atah Hashem Chanun Amarbel Yisroach, I would say Baruch Atah Hashem, I would say B'tshuva. I'm changing the text of the tefillah. My prayer was a prayer about Tzaricha and Kamara, and I said, so this is not good. Perhaps HaMelech HaKadosh, for the duration of the 10 days, is looked upon the same.
So if it was connected to Rosh Hashanah,
Right,
then you wouldn't
It may
have
be
to go back.
different.
correct. This is the point. Right, exactly. See again, the Mishnah Berurah is asking, there is a contradiction. You're praying the prayer of Rosh Hashanah, so how can you insert Kel HaKadosh not HaMelech HaKadosh? The answer is that it has the fact that the tefillah, and the proof is it's not connected
Because it's
directly
not
with
there. The
tefillah.
next day,
Because
it's
it's
very
being-
different.
It's being recited during the week also. It's being recited during the week also.
So Melech is more important. Are we saying this? Excuse me. Did this discussion start because Melech just for these 10 days is more important than Kale?
The truth is, I didn't start with the Gemara. Maybe tomorrow I'll do the Gemara, but I'll read it to you from the Gemara. Look at the Gemara in Daf Yud Bet Amud Bet. Look at Yud Bet Amud Bet.
Of what? Rosh Hashanah?
Rosh Hashanah.
But Rabbi Prague,
Yes.
Kale is one of the names that can't be erased, right? Melech is not important. It doesn't seem as Kale, no?
But
And only it's these days.
I'll just give you an example, okay? There was a fellow that was judged and sentenced to be fired on by a firing squad. The last minute they changed their mind. His hair, between the time they took him to the wall and back, tell us why. You know why?
Fear.
Because it's over, yeah? When you have a real fear. The point of HaMelech here is not because of Shem Hashem. It is to show you that these days, Hashem is judging the world as a king.
Well, the whole Yontif is half of a third of it is Malchut. I mean,
We are going to spend a long time, but part of being a king is the power to judge for good or bad.
The rest of the year is not, I mean, it's also king the rest of the year. so
Whatever happens during the year was decided on Rosh Hashanah. Just to emphasize and to push us stronger to.
But after the 10 days, we go back to the normal one, so like, it looks
Right,
like
but
you are
whatever-
lowering the level of
whatever-
kavod.
Whatever happens, it's not like it's again to remind me, to remind you, to remind everyone that these days are serious days. I mean, I don't know if you ever. I had a good friend that was caught in a white crime, and everyone in the world, he had the best lawyers and every politician, everyone wrote letters to the judge on his behalf. What he did wrong, but at least not to give him 2 years. Yes? Nevertheless, for weeks and weeks before his judgment, he didn't go to sleep.
Of course not.
Again, it's a question was not life in prison for sure, not 25 years now. The question was, should it be 18 months, 22 months, or 5 to 8? Spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. Everyone, blacks and whites, art and music, yeshivot and orphanage, sent letters on his behalf, supporting everyone. Okay, so he got 22 months and he was sitting here 18 months. Fine. But I know the guy well. He lives in a very, very fancy house. He says his wife says 24/7, probably step 2 hours a night, 4 hours. Why? Facing a judgment of what? They're not sending him to an electric chair. But he's a prominent man. Every place he came, he's here. What would you have? Hashem, no, Hashem, he's right. Hashem Yishmor. But so the point of saying a melech is sometimes just to give us another boost. I'm telling you, this year on Rosh Hashanah, everyone will take it more seriously because of the history of what happened in the state of Israel. And as you hear in the news, if you hear between the lines, it's either Israel is going to Lebanon, which another many casualties, or not. But this is being decided now. I mean, Israel is up. The north is. I listened yesterday. The only time I have time to listen. 12 o'clock is American time, 7 in Israel, to a news station. So the chief of staff of Israel said, Friday when they bombed this house and they killed, top commanders. Why did the commanders come together? Says because for years and years they're training to invade the Galil the same way
You want to do October 7th over there.
did over there. And since, Israel, everyone smells it, they came, okay, let's go to the final push. Now, the reason why they came together is because they couldn't use the walkie-talkies anymore, so they had to come together, so Hashem helped us. But still, the plans are there. The soldiers are trained. They are trained much better than Hamas. Answer is, Israel has to do what Israel has to do. It's we. The prayers of Rosh Hashanah of last year, the prayers of these days, and let's hope that see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll continue with the Gemarot of judgment.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, Rabbi. Have a good day.
Good news.
Good news is right.
Is here, Rabbi, or going back?
What?
Mishnah Menorah.
Mishnah Berurah is here. All those